To an ordinary person, this may just look like a dumpy ravine with lots of trash, but for Jon Jok and Dan Stan, it was a dream come true. Believe it or not, beneath the trash of this ravine lies an ancient civilization called the Snaz Dudes.
For the past several months here, we've been excavating this huge ravine and uncovering an absolutely massive city. The culture of this city is absolutely like nothing we've ever seen before. The archaeological wonders that we found in this ancient civilization have been absolutely drastic and amazing. I have quite a few artifacts that I think will interest all of you, so come along if you would. For example, this rotted pile of hay that seems useless is probably just old, rotted, moldy animal feed, but some of the artifacts in it makes you take a second look. Hold still, let me put on my gloves. This artifact right here. This here might seem like an ordinary knife, but the history behind this that a research team has uncovered has been absolutely amazing. This here was used for animal sacrifice. This big piece of sheet metal here looks like a normal piece of sheet metal. This here is what they actually laid the cows on to sacrifice them. Obviously, because it is such meticulous, small, time-consuming work, we cannot bring in any big equipment. It's got to be all done by hand. Right here, our digging team excavated these two huge pile of bricks here. These here were more than likely foundation of the city walls. And what is absolutely amazing is some of the huge quantities of wire that we found all along. Our research team speculates that perhaps the city was encased in wire. The Snaz Dudes were extremely superstitious people, so this box here to them was a healing box. What is a healing box? Well, we have found through the ancient manuscripts we've uncovered so far that this box here was used by people. They went when they were sick of any kind of ailment, no matter what it was, whether just small amount of pain or serious chronic injury. They crawled into this box, fasted for 24 hours, and put 5 beetles on the top of their stomach. And during that period, let the beetles crawl all over them. At the end of the 24-hour period, they would crawl out of this box and they would be healed. This box here was only for the elite few because it costed an absolute excuse me. Hello? Okay. Oh, you're joking, Dan. Oh, great news. Okay, bye. You'll have to excuse us, but Dan has just uncovered absolutely the dig of all digs. At the south end of the ravine, he just made an absolutely huge discovery. Let's go join him. Dad, I'm coming! The common person, they might think I'm just sitting here reclining. Or to those who are a little more observant, it might look like I'm sitting on a toilet. But to the Snaz Dude, this here had far greater meaning. This here was a chair of blessing. The Snaz Dude would go and sit upon it like this and pray. They believed that their gods could hear them better when they were sitting on this porcelain-like chair. You can even see some of the fine engraving along the side here. Of course, it's riddled with a few cracks here and there. And by the way, this is genuine porcelain. But the Snaz Dudes believed that the prayer went down the hole and came up this tube and ascended into the heavens to the gods.
So John, what does this archaeological find mean to you financially?
It is absolutely huge because, for example, as one of my archaeological diggers was just finding, one of those little medicine trays itself is worth probably $40,000 to $50,000. An absolutely huge sum. And all of this entire dig site with all the pieces in it could be worth absolutely multi-millions. So on a very personal level, coming from a very poor family, this is like my dream come true. And Mumsy, poor Mumsy, she broke her hip several years ago. And coming from a poor family, she has not had the money to get it fixed. Now that we have that money, we're going to be able to get her a new hip.
That is amazing. Jok and Dan stand, it was a dream come true.
Okay.
Oh, just a minute. The Snaz dudes were people that lived thousands of years ago, before any of us. No. Believe it or not, Believe it or not, beneath the tumbleweeds and trash of this. Believe it or not, beneath. Jon Jok has been delighted to find some very. Discover their culture, their ways, and their. Let me try it again.
But has been absolutely amazing. This here was used for animal sacrifice. David, when I gave you the when I looked your way, I want you to yell towards the house, "Hey Skipper, bring that shovel over here," okay?
Okay.
Just say, "Hey Skip, bring that shovel."
Okay, we're ready, David.
And move, okay? Because you're.
Start. It's on.
Okay, ready? One of the larger, more substantial finds that we found so far is worth a huge amount of money because of its historical value. This here to the Snaz dudes, I know I'm gonna say if I messed it up. Refrigerator was a tube like.
Call it the healing box.
And put 5 beetles on the top of their stomach. During that 24-hour people, they had.
Go.
I gotta be in the middle of talking.
Talk about how they had to pay to get into it. The Emperor. And we'll talk about the Emperor.
Keep in mind, watch my leg, okay? Oh my. Oh, okay. Bye. You'll have to excuse us, but Dan has just uncovered absolutely the dig of all digs. At the south end of the ravine, he just made an absolutely huge discovery. Let's go join him. Is that good?
Yeah, that was great.
Hello? Okay. Oh, you're joking, Dan. Oh, great news. Okay, bye. You'll have to join us, and pardon me for...
That was great!
I know! Has just uncovered an absolutely huge archaeological site at the south end of the ravine. Let's go join him.
So Jon Jok, on a more personal level, what does this find mean to you financially?
Well, it's
So John, what does this archaeological find mean to you financially?
my poor family. This is like my dream come true. And Mumsy, poor Mumsy, she broke her hip several years ago. And coming from a poor family, she has not had the money to get it fixed. Now that we have that money, she'll be able to get a hip
Oh, that was so close! Talk about start.
and for fixed. Now that we have that money, we're gonna be able to get her a new hip.
That is amazing.
To some, it might look like I'm reclining, or to those who are more observant, it might look like I'm sitting on a toilet. But to the Snaz dude, this here had much greater, far-reaching.
Much more.
Here was an extremely important part of their culture. For those who believed that they were demon-possessed, or for even those who had spiritual trouble of some kind, who had greater. Hold still.
Wasting days.
That's stupid, okay? And by the way, this is genuine porcelain.